Well, whatever you're going to do, we're live anyway. Oh, there goes Andrew again.
Most professional podcast ever.
Most professional ever. We are the best. Yeah. But, yeah, hello. Welcome to another semi-professional episode of Anarchy among Friends Roundtable discussion. Before we get started, let me first remind you that we are covered by the BIPCOT no government license, which allows for the use and the reuse of this podcast by anyone and everyone except for governments and the bludgies thereof. You can learn more about that at bipcot.org. That is BIPCOT.org. We're also covered by Brandenburg v. Ohio, 1969, which we will need tonight. Which ruled that the government cannot punish inflammatory speech unless that speech is, quote, directed to inciting or producing imminent lawless action and is likely to incite or produce such action. Therefore, everything here on this totally most professional podcast ever is entirely hypothetical.
I am not responsible for my technical issues, okay?
This is episode 195. And bad audio is a hate crime, and we're going to talk shit about the FBI all day. All episode, right?
I like it.
That works.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So if we're gonna get arrested, it's gonna be for either we're talking shit or either for the bad audio. We're not certain yet. We'll find out when the charges drop.
I'll keep fighting with this thing. I don't understand what's going on. I wish I did.
I remember when Freedom Fiends was a thing, and Michael Dean, he was an old school music producer, and his thing was bad audio was a hate crime, and they had stickers and patches and shirts and everything. Like if you had bad audio, he would publicly shame you. It was fantastic, but
I don't know.
We won't shame you, Andrew.
Man.
We'll just start 10 minutes late.
Yeah.
I fucking tried, dude. I don't know. I mean, that's the dumbest thing is that it's like, oh yeah, I'm totally connected to your headset. Oh, did you want to use that for like audio and stuff? Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Why the fuck would I want you connected to the headset for anything else?
It's because we mentioned the FBI in our group chat, and we know that the FBI monitors our group chat, and now they're fucking with you just because we're going to talk shit about them.
You know, the funny thing is out of nowhere, as I was trying to connect to StreamYard and it was just sitting there and spinning, all of a sudden my computer rebooted and is like, oh, we're updating Microsoft.
It's those guys in the van outside, man. I'm telling you.
There has been the past 3 days, there has been a white van parked out in front of my house.
Have you connected to their Wi-Fi? I'm sure they have Starlink.
I should. Man, that'll fix things.
Just go knock on the window, be like, hey guys, can I get some IT support?
Andrew has an IT degree.
Yeah, like, no, this is just, I give up, man. I give up. Whatever. We're going with it.
Yeah. Gonna record in the phone booth?
You know, when everything works, I have a beautiful webcam that's very high resolution. I have fantastic high resolution audio. Everything's fantastic. And then sometimes this crap happens.
Yep.
Yeah. Your Packers won. Quit your bitching.
That do be facts.
Yeah. What are you playing with?
I'm wondering if there's a setting in the phone that I have.
And then he freezes the video again.
Your face is frozen and they're fucking with the audio. You're like Mark 2.0. You weren't around.
I give up. Still fucks with it.
Yeah, you weren't around at that time. At that time, Josh, but we had our buddy Mark Taylor, Cal Mark on Facebook. He did a show from his truck, on the freeway with the window down. Shaw says, I think there's an air between the chair and the screen. Yeah, it's the air's between the ears, bro. Yes, I'm gonna have to screenshot that at some point and start making memes, because that was a really intense Andrew look.
I'm just whatever. I have so many freaking computer devices in here, and none of them want to cooperate with me right now.
Well,
it's ridiculous.
Well, you know the problem is they're not intimidated by you, right? So you got to.
He's only allowed one win a day, and Green Bay took it, so that was it.
Oh,
yeah, apparently.
Well, no, it's your electronic devices aren't intimidated by you, right? So they have no fear of not working. So you have to find like an old calculator, an old computer or something, and then like set it down nicely next to the tablet and laptop that is messing up. Be polite about it. Inform the tablet or laptop that you want to work that they are not working to your standards. And then you grab a big ass hammer and smash the ever loving shit out of the sacrificial electronic device. And then you politely but sternly inform the laptop and or tablet that you want to work that if it continues to act up, then it will get this treatment also. And then you smash little pieces into literal pieces. Right? Guaranteed to work like every third Tuesday of October between 3 and 3:11 p.m.
You know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one of the old cell phones I have, and I'm gonna take my laptop and my tablet out to the range, and I'm gonna aim their cameras at the cell phone, and then I'm just going to dump a mag worth of jacketed hollow points into the cell phone.
10mm justice,
and just new mag, slide forward, aim it at them, and like, you want that? You fucking want that?
That's right. You to intimidate your electronic device into working.
It's the dumbest freaking, and what's stupid is, I bet you, if I connected the Bluetooth to this to one of my Bluetooth speakers, it would go fine.
It works just fine. All right. What you need to find the neighborhood dog and tie it to that, and then call the ATF, and then automatically the device will start working out of fear.
Oh my god!
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Andrew. It works now, I swear.
The ATF pops out, or the FBI pops out of the white van. It's okay. It's gonna work. It's gonna work.
We need to spy on you. Don't destroy it. Here's a new model.
It has too much of our spyware. We're sorry.
I think that's what's wrong with my laptop. It's too much FBI spyware on it at this point. It's fucking ridiculous.
Oh, I think somebody hacked you for selling your feet on OnlyFans.
So I always laugh when people are worried about identity theft, and I'm like, I'm not that worried. And they're like, what do you mean you're not that worried? I'm like, if anybody steals my identity, very quickly they're going to be like, oh god, that was a horrible mistake. What have I done? And every single major agency is following them.
I stole this guy's identity, and then all of a sudden I'm being followed around town by blank white vans and SUVs.
What is going on?
Where'd my dog go?
When the dog disappears, things are about to get real spicy.
Okay. Spicy. Where do we want to start? Let's start with an update. Several months ago, when was the initial one? So several months ago, we covered an article. I believe we covered the reason.com version of the article of the FBI going into a bank and confiscating every safe deposit box. Right? They had a blanket warrant, and they took everything. Right? It was something like $86 million worth of stuff. right? And it was like they said, oh, it was drugs. You know, it wasn't all drug stuff. It was like there were private people that had there too. The FBI misled the judge who signed the warrant for the Beverly Hills seizure of $86 million in cash.
What? No.
They misled the judge. They knowingly fucking lied.
The FBI knowingly lied, bro.
I refuse to believe that's even a thing that could happen. Those are
just so unheard of from the most honorable agency this country has ever seen.
Yeah, I agree. It's just it's incredulous. It's incredulous to believe that the FBI would lie about something. But according to this is the Yahoo version of the Los Angeles Times article. The privacy invasion was vast when the FBI drilled and pried their way into 1,400 safety deposit boxes at a U.S. private vault store in Beverly Hills. Mr. Christopher, how are we?
Well, upright somehow.
Somehow? No, your audio sounds better than Andrew's. Andrew's recording in the fun box.
You.
Yeah.
That's all I got at this point, man.
I mean, it took me an hour and a half to find my headset, which was just hiding underneath my daughter's jacket.
She did that on purpose.
Dude, I have a headset, but it doesn't work.
It doesn't work?
It doesn't want to go.
Is it USB or is it 3.5?
No, look. I have a Bluetooth earbud that this thing is currently connected to for calls and audio. You know what it's not putting through the Bluetooth headset? Calls and audio.
Sounds like you need to reboot your device.
He did 3 times.
Third time was not a charm.
No, it's not.
This from the guy with the IT degree that can't connect his Bluetooth.
It's connected. That's what's got me going insane. It's connected.
Is it connected or does it say connected like little C, big O, little N, big N, little E?
Did you try making your device forget it?
I didn't try that. You know what I wonder though is this tablet has really weird settings for calls with Bluetooth and stuff, because you can use it as a phone through Bluetooth to your phone. I don't know. I'm wondering if that's it. I'll worry about it at some other point. Hopefully I never need to worry about this again, but I probably will because my computer's a pile of shit.
I've been telling you that for years, you dumbass.
I don't have money to buy another one.
You don't need money to buy a different computer. You know somebody who can provide you with a different computer, just like the one Lindsay has.
Yeah, the white van outside. Hey guys, I got a shitty computer. Can you upgrade mine?
Hey guys,
I won't try to remove the spyware this time. I swear. So, anywho, we were talking about the FBI lying.
Shocker.
Right? Like the fact that the FBI would lie is just it's really hard to believe.
I mean, it would be a first for them. It's for surely
a complete first, an absolute complete first.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's not like the federal government lies about anything.
We can't say that word. We're still in the first 20 minutes.
That's why I didn't say it.
So FBI misled judge who signed warrant for Beverly Hills seizure of $86 million in cash.
I read this article. I was so pissed off by the time I got halfway through it.
Oh, it's hilarious. I have nothing but hilarious articles tonight. It's going to be a lot of laughing. It's going to be a good time.
Probably a lot of laughing and a lot of us going, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
all the articles I have are FBI articles.
So for our 4 team of agents that are watching this right now, you're welcome. We see you.
Hashtag fan club.
You're gonna feel so seen by the end of this. So seen.
So seen. Are they gonna have to grow their hair out and then comb it over their eye? Eyeliner. So seen. So seen.
Goth FBI agent.
You're gonna get the,
all of our agents.
If they're a goth FBI agent, but they're also thick, I might look past that they're FBI agents.
Right?
I mean, I'd
Don't
like
give
to
them
think I
ideas.
All of our FBI agents will henceforth be known as Cousin It.
Oh. I'm just saying, if the right honeypot came along, I'm just.
I mean,
like,
the
I
things I'm going to do
completely
for
know
my
this is a
country.
trap.
If the right honeypot came along, like I might Winnie the Pooh that little bitch.
Like, I completely know this is a trap, but that ass though. Like,
Worth it. Still worth it.
Just a hate fuck. This is for Vicky Weaver.
no regrets.
No regrets. Yes. The privacy invasion was
But at least
fast.
one fuck given.
We're all going to jail.
We're not threatening any FBI agents. We're just saying, you know, if you
Well, I
really
mean, with a
want
good
to
time.
get us, if you really want to get us, you're gonna have to thirst trap us.
Which is entirely plausible. The privacy invasion was vast when FBI agents drilled and pried their way into 1,400 safe deposit boxes at the U.S. private vault store in Beverly Hills. They rummaged through personal belongings of a jazz saxophone player, an interior designer, a retired doctor, a flooring contractor, 2 Century City lawyers, and hundreds of others.
Oh, attorneys. That's going to work out well.
2 attorneys. Agents took photos and videos of pay stubs, password list, credit cards, prenuptial agreement, immigration and vaccination records, bank statements, heirlooms, and a will, court records show. In one box, agents found cremated human remains. 18 months later, the newly unsealed court documents show that the FBI and U.S. Attorney's Office in Los Angeles got their warrant for the raid by misleading the judge who approved it.
I am absolutely shocked.
Hold on. They omitted from their warrant request a central part of the FBI's plan: permanent confiscation of everything inside every box containing at least $5,000 in cash or goods. That is according to senior FBI agents recent testify.
So this was basically just a giant cash grab.
Yeah, on what planet do you think that this is going to be okay when people find out that you're doing that?
Hold on. Give me one paragraph. Give me 2 paragraphs. Hold yourself for 2 paragraphs.
I don't know if I can.
The FBI's justification for the dragnet forfeiture was its presumption that hundreds of unknown box holders were all storing assets somehow tied to unknown crimes. It took 5 days for agents to fill their evidence bags with a bounty, more than $86 million in cash, and a bonanza of gold, silver, rare coins, gem-studded jewelry, and enough Rolex and Cartier watches to stock a boutique.
So
Hold on. Presumption that hundreds of unknown box holders were storing assets somehow tied to unknown crimes.
It's just like local PDs across the country that steal people's life savings just because they happen to have it in cash while they're on the way to the dealership to buy a car.
But
you know what we could do?
They didn't know that there were cash in those deposit boxes.
You know what we could do?
They knew that some of the boxes were being used to house the proceeds of illicit actions, but they didn't know which boxes were and which boxes weren't. So they
just
Or
went
what
after
crimes they were attached to.
Or
They
what
didn't know
they were
what
attached
crimes they were attached to either.
So
If
they confiscated everything out of all 1,400 boxes.
If only somebody at some point in the founding of the United States had foreseen things like this and written down something on a piece of paper maybe that said that the government wasn't allowed to just assume that everybody was guilty and take things from them. and like just search their belongings and seize them without any cause. I mean, if only that had been done, maybe we could have prevented this.
If there were some rules in place that would have prevented
Yeah.
the government from just blanket seizing people's property without reason.
Gosh,
What?
it's almost like from the top down, the entire rhetoric surrounding the federal government sounds an awful lot like a certain entity that they were the most powerful military and government on the planet at the time, and what was it? Oh yeah, that's right. They drew us into a fucking war because they did shit like this all the fucking time.
The U.S. Attorney's Office has tried to block public disclosure of court
How now, brown cow. How now, brown cow.
The U.S. Attorney's Office has tried to block public disclosure of court records that lay bare the government's deception, but a judge rejected its request to keep them under seal. The failure to disclose the confiscation plan in the warrant request came to light in FBI documents and deposition of agents in a class action lawsuit by box holders who say the raid violated their rights.
Because it did.
The court filings also show that federal agents defied restrictions that the U.S. Magistrate Judge Stephen Kim set in the warrant by searching through box holders' belongings for evidence of crimes.
Don't you have to have evidence of a crime in order to get a warrant in
Yes.
the first fucking place?
Yes, you have to justify the warrant by showing the evidence of a crime in order to continue investigating.
Yeah, that's
They
not
went,
how
they went in reverse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
you're
the
not
fuck
allowed.
did this judge say,
They
okay,
seized property and searched through it in hopes of finding it tied to an alleged crime.
There's
and
a
they had no
term that
crimes
gets
to tie
used.
it to.
Yeah, there's a term that gets used in legal circles describing exactly what this is. It's called a fishing expedition, and it's been ruled completely unconstitutional and illegal at least 10 separate times by the Supreme Court and lower courts.
Mhm.
And yet it keeps having to come up again because no matter how many times the FBI and the ATF and the DEA and local police and sheriff's offices and everybody else gets told no, they go, well, but what if I just do it a little bit? But what if I just do it a little?
This is like a recent case in San Francisco where a woman was raped, right? And they took DNA evidence of the rape.
Yeah, I remember this one.
And her DNA obviously came with it. And then they ran the DNA, her DNA, against the crime database, and then arrested her for a alleged breaking and entering that she was supposedly tied to. Like, you can't go both ways on this, right? So, Robert Fromer, a lawyer who represents nearly 400 box holders in the class action case, wrote in court papers, quote, "The government did not know what was in those boxes, who owned them, or what, if anything, those people had done. That's why the warrant application did not even attempt to argue that there was probable cause to seize and forfeit box renters' property."
They didn't even try to feign any kind of probable cause. They just went, "We want to do this." The judge went, "Okay."
Yeah, pretty much.
So is the next thing for the government to do to sue, because this judge is obviously functionally retarded? So is the federal government going to follow in the steps of the Connecticut State Patrol and sue for the right to appoint retarded judges? Just like they've...
I mean, to be fair, once that happened in Connecticut, that was kind of universal across the board.
Well, yeah,
because the precedent was set. No other department wants to sue for the right to not hire high IQ individuals, right?
Right.
The Justice Department's no different,
I suppose.
After a 2-year investigation that opened in 2019, leaders of the FBI's Los Angeles office believe U.S. private vaults was a magnet for criminals hiding illicit proceeds in their boxes. The business was charged with conspiracy to sell drugs and launder money. The
Prove it.
FBI. Sorry?
Prove it.
Prove it, yeah. The FBI and U.S. Attorney's Office denied that they misled the judge or ignored his conditions, saying they had no obligation to tell him of the plan for incriminate confiscations on the blanket assumption that every customer was hiding crime-tainted assets. Hold on, I'm gonna read that again. The FBI and U.S. Attorney's Office denied that they misled the judge or ignored his conditions, saying they had no obligation to tell the judge, of the plan for indiscriminate confiscation on the blanket assumption that every customer was hiding crime-tainted assets.
That's literally what a warrant is your obligation
to inform the judge of the facts of the case pertinent to the
whole
situation.
Plan. Yeah, the whole plan of why you're doing what you're doing.
Why is this necessary? That is the question. Why is it necessary for me to give you permission to go through all of their assets?
Yeah, not to confiscate this box or that box belonging to this particular individual. No, it was a blanket confiscation. 1,400 safe deposit boxes.
Back in a second.
1,400.
Feds already showed up at Andrew's house.
1,400 safe deposit boxes. Under a blanket.
I'm assuming that's the entire inventory of this particular location.
It's the entire inventory.
Yeah, it's every single box in that location.
1,400 boxes, and they just took everything.
Yes.
With no evidence whatsoever that any of it was actually a crime.
No evidence whatsoever. So, okay.
Isn't that kind of tantamount to how the whole thing is supposed to function?
Yeah, hold on.
Don't say it.
This is the. You
don't say it. Here, let me.
I won't say it. I won't say it. FBI spokesman Laura Imler said the warrants were lawfully executed, quote, based on allegations of widespread criminal wrongdoing.
That's not how this works.
Not evidence.
It's all all hearsay.
Based on allegations.
Allegations are essentially hearsay. We believe something bad's happening over there. So
again, if only someone had written down on a piece of paper a thing that said that you couldn't just take people's stuff based on allegations of wrongdoing, and that you had in the United States to prove that there was wrongdoing. If only that had been, someone had thought of that. I mean, we could have saved so much trouble.
Yes. The plaintiffs from the class action lawsuit have asked U.S. District Judge R. Gary Klausner to declare the raid unconstitutional, which I believe it will be. If he grants the request, it could force the FBI to return millions of dollars to box holders whose assets it tried to confiscate. It could also spoil an unknown number of criminal investigations by blocking prosecutors from using any of the evidence or information acquired in the raid, including guns and drugs.
Well, yeah,
because it's poison
tree.
Yep. No.
They shot themselves with this one. If only they'd done so literally.
If only we'd be so lucky.
Brandenburg v. Ohio, 1969.
Hey, no one's threatening anything.
No one's threatening anything.
That's not threatening anything. That's wishful thinking.
From severe clinical depression.
Yeah. Maybe some PTSD from all of the abuse that they've put the American people through.
One can only hope that the entirety of the FBI has information on Hillary Clinton.
Bro.
Oh, they have so much information on Hillary Clinton, which is why she works for them.
Where do you think?
Or they work for her.
Yeah, who do you think made the emails disappear, bro?
That's true.
And
Exactly.
more than that, who do you think made sure the security cameras went off? So Epstein was,
Yes, but I was implying that they would all get suicided with 2 to the back of the head.
yeah, that wouldn't happen though. They're
Come on,
the militant arm,
they're FBI, not Gary Webb, bro.
right?
Oh,
2 shots to the back.
One
of his
can
own head.
hope.
yeah. Committing suicide on your knees while shooting yourself in the back of the head. Yeah. That's Gary Webb with 2 B's, W-E-B-B. Look into him with the Contra affairs.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that.
That's an interesting story if you don't know it.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it would be a good thing if they all went to Japan to the suicide forest, but no one would shed a tear.
Or just watch the TV show Snowfall.
That one?
Snowfall does a really good job talking about it. What Gary Webb exposed. No. Let's see. Where do we want to go now? Where do you want to
Where
go,
do you
guys?
want to go to the isolated mountains of Idaho and Montana to live out our days away from everybody?
Bro, I was
With the
thinking
Anarchy grill.
I was thinking about that bar and grill again today.
Yeah, it's. Hey, I mean, it could be. It could
You
be a
posting
good.
that bar made me think of 2 years ago when I was first looking at leaving California, and I found that wood mill up in northern Idaho that was going for remember I shared it with you? It was going for like 210. I could have easily bought it, and it had all the equipment.
We could have just headed out there. Everybody just goes off grid, and we can just do our own thing out there. See.
And that little town where that bar and grill is, it's at the end of the highway. So like Highway 14 comes down, and it's like that town is the end of the highway, and then behind it is all mountains. Like so, there's no highway in from the north, east, or south. There's some back roads, but I mean
It's the end of US 14.
Yes,
Like just the end.
The end.
It just stops.
It just stops. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That would be weird to like be at the end of a highway. Like
Hey,
it just stops here.
Easily defendable.
It's true. That is true.
Yeah.
I just want it so that I can like roundhouse kick people in the face and be like roadhouse. So
Yes, Shells. Jack is definitely a Fed.
locals start getting uppity and just boom. Why'd you do that? Roadhouse.
There are feds in that town because there is a national forest office. So there are feds in that town too. The town's small, so it's only like 200 people, but it has year-round tourism. But there is a small contingent of feds, so you can roundhouse.
Roadhouse. What'd you do that for? Roadhouse.
So what you're saying is on the door we would put a sign that says "No twig pigs allowed."
Just coat the whole thing in just anarchist imagery and mottos.
Put the show logo on the door.
That is that city. It's Elk City, Idaho, is in Idaho County, which is 80% red and voted 80% for Trump in 2016 and 2020. In Idaho, which is like 74% red. So it is the reddest county in the reddest state.
Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, slapping up anarchist stuff might not go well, but it would be entertaining.
Shaw says Andrew is no Sam Elliott, but that beard is on point. I mean, not wrong.
Dude, I have cowboy hats. Just saying.
But you have cowboy boots.
Not anymore, unfortunately. They're worn out.
Your voice isn't deep enough though to run as
to
a
be
Sam
Sam
Elliott.
Elliott. No, it's
All hat, no cow.
there is not even enough. There is not enough testosterone injections in the world to get my voice down low enough to match Sam Elliott's. Like that is impossibly low.
Yeah.
The only person that gets that low other than Sam Elliott is like James Earl Jones.
Give me COVID again. I'll get that low. exclusive. This is a Daily Caller. The FBI secretly pressured Americans to waive away their gun rights.
I remember this one
Again,
too.
I don't believe this. Right? There's no way that the FBI would do this. There's no way.
There's no way the federal government in general would ever pressure people.
The Constitution would totally prevent them from doing this, right?
Absolutely. I mean, clearly.
Just like a restraining order would keep the boy from, or the man from down the street from killing back.
That's why no guy has ever violated a restraining order.
That's right.
Yeah. And the Fourth Amendment always prevents illegal searches and seizures, and
and detentions that get you killed in the backseat of police cars.
Yeah,
on train tracks.
Parked on train tracks.
To be fair, that was local cops, but yeah, still same. The FBI secretly pressured Americans into signing forms that relinquished their rights to own, purchase, or use firearms, according to a trove of internal documents and communications obtained by the Daily Caller News Foundation. The forms were presented by the FBI to people at their homes and in other undisclosed locations, according to Bureau documents unleashed through a Freedom of Information Act by Gun Owners of America. So, thank you, Gun Owners of America. At least 15 people between 2016 and 2019 signed the secret forms, which asked signatories to declare themselves as